the first song off of this album is titled the same, right? Um, Bloodstained Suede II. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Let's do it.
Look, the diabolical, highly methodical, erotic, psychotic, maniacal, flow undeniable, hypnotic. Step in the vocal booth, spit the quotables that I jotted. Give them to the masses in return for cash that I deposit. Then reinvest it. Don't bite my shit, it's poison, it's not to be ingested. End up needing that Ian shit. I'm to be respected. Heron flow, you need to inject it. Fuck around and overdose. Get found bleeding and breathless. Food for thought like I'm feeding them breakfast. They fiending for seconds with meager effort. I make it clear to see who the best is. I'm him.
So, song is crazy. Guitars, bananas. We got Clypto on production again. I'm going to get right into one of the verses. Quiet is kept. Niggas give me quiet respect. I set fire to the mattress while niggas quietly slept. I'm a problem with no resolution. Irreparable damage with no restitution. Niggas is clowns, but less amusing. I'm the best including. However, I'm too clever. I like them pretty and thick with a strong jawbone like Shorty Chew leather. Listen. Can I just tell you, I'm really enjoying the way that you put this stuff together and the way that I'm receiving it. I hope everybody else receives it. You know, it is clever is actually perfect in terms of how you're delivering this, how you're putting the words
Gratitude.
together. Yeah, talk to me about the song and and your thought process when you put this one together.
So this was one of them joints that I just wanted to like just go crazy, just bar the fuck out and just like get those reactions. Like I don't consider myself a punchline rapper, but I have my moments to where like I'm gonna just talk crazy. And this is one of them songs to where like, okay, this is provocative. This is like borderline disrespectful. Like I have to, for me personally, I have to encompass all that as an artist, as an MC, because to me, it's all relative. It all goes hand in hand with being an MC. So everything ain't gonna be positive. Everything you're not gonna agree with. Everything ain't gonna be just. But damn it, it's art. You know what I'm saying? And I want to have how I feel, and I have to also match the beat. You know, I have to match the production. And when I first heard this beat, I'm like, man, it sounds like some Devil's Reject type shit, House of a Thousand Corpses. Like, you know, it sounds like it's straight out of Rob Zombie flick. So I'm like, okay, how can I make this as grimy as possible? Because, you know, I got that bag too. Like I get in my grimy bag and it's kind of like, you know what, I'm just going to go crazy and whatever within reason, whatever I feel, whatever I think, within reason, I'm saying that shit. And you know, like the bars just started coming. I sat on this first verse for like maybe a year, several months to a year, because I actually started making this song during maybe it was at the end of the writing process for Bloodstained Suede I. It just didn't fit. So, and I immediately knew me and Clypto was gonna spin a block because we had too much material. Like the next project is going to be like a EP of everything that didn't make Bloodstained Suede 1 or 2. So it's like we still got more work coming. So it's like I just knew that this was going to be one of them ones. And I added the hook in the second verse like months later after the fact. And I'm like, this is going to be the intro. This is going to be the opening track. Like, yeah.
You came out swinging because I was like, wait a minute, he's setting people on fire? Like, this what we doing? Listen, I was not mad at that at all. Like, I think the aggressive side of me, the New Yorker side of me is like, yeah, set them on fire, son. You know,
because that's kind of like, okay, and going back to what you said earlier, like having to toot my own horn, so to speak, and like, hey, I'm here type shit. So that's kind of like the double entendre for like set motherfuckers on fire, but oh, they sleeping on me? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna set fire to the mattress while y'all quietly sleep. Go ahead and get them Z's. Yeah, like I got some for that ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Right. We are gonna get into the next song, which is Carbon Monoxide. And one of the things that immediately, of course, because it's the first thing that you hear is the xylophone. Like I can't recall hearing a xylophone. Wait, who the hell I had to make sure I was saying the word right because you don't say xylophone really for any reason. I'm like, wait a minute, is that a xylophone? Like what?
Right.
So I'm gonna go ahead, let you get into playing this, and then we're gonna talk about it as soon as you done playing it.
Absolutely. So this one right here, track 3, or track 2, I should say, Carbon Monoxide. You know what I'm saying? From off my recently released project with Clypto, Bloodstained Suede II, Carbon Monoxide featuring Rim and the homie Green Slime.
Look, drastic times call for drastic measures. I go batshit with this rap shit, but they ain't something you had to tell us. I'm from where savage fellas blast Berettas after cash and cheddars. Way before COVID, niggas embarked on massed endeavors. Pussy was trash, I gave her 2 swirls and 1 pump. I am God the nastiest since 2 girls and 1 cup. Lyrics leave you dumbstruck, pummel you till you punch drunk. I'm nice like rabbit battling niggas next to the lunch truck.
One of the verses in part is, the lyrics leave you dumbstruck, pummel you till you punch drunk. I'm nice like rabbit battling niggas next to lunch trucks. What? Okay, so the one thing I'm learning about you is that there are lots of references to movies. And I love that, because anybody who's into music, period, I'm cool with Miss Corona. You know what I'm saying? From 8
Shout out to
Round.
Homegirl, yeah, Miss Corona, absolutely.
I interviewed her, almost 2 years back now too. And so when you think about these things, you're like, oh, okay, he just threw that. Like, talk to me about some of the references from the things that you watch and how you mix them into your music.
Well, yeah, like if you were, even if you not really immersed in hip hop culture, 8 Mile was big, especially for me at the time that it came out. Like, you know, I was definitely like, still am kind of sort of, but I was definitely a larger Eminem fan, you know, back then. Like that was his prime, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that movie, I watched that religiously, you know what I'm saying? Just the whole battle culture and seeing his story, or what was supposed to be his story, and seeing how everything played out. So if it shapes me, if it leaves a lasting impression on me, you definitely gonna hear about it through the bars. Because one thing that I try to, or try not to do, I try not to separate real life from the music. You know, my real life is my music. Like I don't want it to be any difference between I Am God and the man behind I Am God. You know what I'm saying? Like he is I and I am him. You know what I'm saying? Like we one and the same. This is just a musical extension, you know, and it is things that I get into music wise that I really wouldn't, you know what I'm saying, get in too much into real life. But that's where the entertainment purpose come in. Like I just feel like it's like a timestamp, so to speak, and it's gonna be one of those things that hit you, but not like a punchline, but it make you go, "Oh shit, I remember that." You know what I'm saying? And it kind of give you that nostalgia, so to speak.
So tell us about the next track, which is number 3 on this album.
Absolutely. So the next joint is track number 3, "Must Don't Know," featuring my homie, my bro Rufus Sims, off my recently released project with Clypto, Bloodstained Suede II.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
They ask me how is it possible I could still feel underrated, but I ain't decent till my status is gold, is undebated. Don't put my name in nothing unbecoming or unrelated. The flow is undisputed, undeniably understated. Can't play a verse and fix your mouth to say that it's hunger faded. I'm not the one to play with, niggas sleep like they slumber sacred. I'm unmistaken in proclaiming that I am him. Middle fingers to all the motherfuckers that I offend. Listen, unapologetically, cleverly demonstrate on the melody. Heavenly skills, still incredibly ill when I'm 70. I got the recipe, one of the best you'll ever see. Any rapper you think is the best of me, really less of me, bitch. Fuck a top 5, I'm numero uno. Front and center at your funeral, puto.
So what I hear in the song is No Mediocre, which isn't that your company name?
Absolutely.
All right. You're also talking about the undeniable flow you have. And again, we talked about this during our interview, which is, you know, the braggadocious, you know, response and call and all that good stuff. So talk to me a little bit about this song and your company, by the way.
Okay. So yeah, I'll start with No Mediocre. So again, No Mediocre is kind of like one of them things, kind of like I Am God, except for No Mediocre is not an acronym. Like No Mediocre is clear cut. It means exactly what it sounds like, No Mediocre. And the creation of that, you know, like I work a 9 to 5, you know, I'm not at a level in music to where like I could live off what I'm doing just yet. So, you know, I always have this thing, no disrespect to nobody who, you know, they work a 9 to 5 and that's what makes them happy. They fulfill with that. I absolutely 100% get it. Just for me personally, like not trying to, you know, cast my perspective on anybody else, but it's like I wasn't put here to do that. I wasn't put here to punch nobody clock and, you know, make other people billions of dollars and live meager. Like that's not what I'm here to do. I feel like I have a much greater purpose. So no mediocre is basically indicative and representative of like my lifestyle. Like I know I'm put here to do something much greater, and I want more for myself and I want more for my family, you know. So in my opinion, getting up and working a job that I don't care for every day, that's a mediocre way of living. And I could not like do that for the rest of my life. We trying to let motherfuckers know, like we super nice out here. Like we get nasty with this shit. Like it didn't die with Twista and Common and Lupe and Bump J, and you know what I'm saying? Like it's still like heavy bars and lyricists out here. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of us. So Must Don't Know was just basically like, y'all niggas must don't know, but y'all definitely about to find out.
All right, so we're gonna get into the next one, which is called Whole Nother Level, and that's featuring Vic Spence.
Absolutely, the bro.
Yeah, he's dope. Like,
Yeah.
You know, when I was doing Tap the Mic on Weekly Rap Guards, I was wishing that we could get him on there too. You know, you were one of them, Vic was one of them. And it was after we had the Great God interview, which made me, I was like, look up who Vic Spencer was. I had never heard of Vic Spencer until that interview. So that was for me. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it.
All right, y'all. So this is track number 4 off my recently released project, Bloodstained Suede II, produced entirely by the homie Clypto, Oceanside, California finest. What down with it, bro? It's called Whole Nother Level, featuring my bro, Vic Spencer. Let's get into it.
See you looking to be watching. Never forget how to rap. Okay, now rapping ass nigga, japping ass nigga. Hop up on these beats and then he act a ass nigga. Raised up in the era of them platinum ass niggas. Killing shit whether he spitting slow or he rapping fast nigga. Murderous flow, I put it down like nobody else you ever heard of before, so I'm certain to blow. Rarely you catch me in traffic because I prefer to be low. Link up with my nigga, Mr. Spencer. Never catch me in the Mr. Shit. I see the bigger picture, getting richer. I just hit my game, talk my shit, tell your bitch to get off my.
First of all, and you know, my ear's gonna go straight to the musicality of it. This had a Barry White, Isaac Hayes flow, and then you come in with the West Coast flow, and you matched Vic's energy in terms of that West Coast flow. The versatility on it from you was just fire. Your voice also, and that's something that I wanted to get into, is also stand out. Your voice, DB Alice's Christ voice sound like God, like God just came, right? And so, and your voice is very close to that level, and there's something about that for me that makes me want to pay attention. One of the things about this song also was, I also felt like Bone Thugs and Harmony. Like there was just a lot to this song. Talk to me about how you were able to just get on and just, like I said, match Vic's energy on this.
So I definitely wanted that dichotomy. I wanted the yin and yang, you know.
Hold up. Well, you gonna stop using all these big words, dichotomy, all right? Who are you thinking? Nah, listen, you giving me the business right with the dichotomy. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's all good. No, I definitely wanted that contrast between flows, because you know Vic, he can rap to anything. You know what I'm saying? And he can use his signature style to rap to anything. Not saying that he can't switch his flow up, right. But you know, I call Vic like the king of the slow flow, the master of the slow flow. I don't care what tempo the beat is at, he gonna get that slow flow off if that's what he chooses to do. So I love how he approached it, but I definitely wanted to have a contrast. I didn't want both verses to sound the same. I wanted to give you something specific here and give you something specific there. And that's what I kind of do. The double time, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, definitely reminiscent of like Bone Thugs, Twista, you know what I'm saying, Chicago legend, hip hop legend, you know. And I kind of I bit the cadence and the lines of Biggie from the Notorious Thugs, you know what I'm saying? Like I love that verse. Like when Biggie showed me he could do that, like he really impressed me with that, you know what I'm saying, from that Notorious Thugs. So you know, I just wanted to pay homage real quick with that and just provide another vibe, you know what I'm saying, on top of what Vic did and what I chose to do with the chorus. But Whole Nother Level is definitely a deviation from what I normally do. It's normally like hardcore, aggressive, you know what I'm saying, like just bars, you know what I'm saying? Like just one after the next. So I just kind of wanted to like slow it down, but speed it up at the same time, like slow down the mood and the melody, but speed it up with the flow, give you that other style that I got, and you know, just really get on some fly type shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how it came about.
Yeah, I mean, and once again, you know, Clypto in the production is just like I said, immediately Black exploitation, soundtrack vibes, nostalgia. Like to me, boom bap especially is that. And I'm gonna say this, that I don't categorize all of your music as boom bap because it's not. Um, and there's a big discussion around that, and I think if you do that, you pigeonhole yourself, right?
Absolutely.
You know, so I appreciate all sides that you're bringing to the table when it comes to your music. I mean, it's cleverly done. I respect the hell out of it.
Gratitude.
So the next one, Hustlers and Survivors. First thing I got from this was anthem. Like, you know, all generations have anthems. But one thing that stays the same is the idea of hustling and surviving. So go ahead and introduce this song and then we'll talk about it after.
So yeah, we finna get into the next joint, which is track 5, Hustlers and Survivors, featuring my homegirl, Micah Estelle. And again, this is off my latest project, produced entirely by the homie Clypto, Bloodstained Suede II. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
Feel like I'm here for a reason, and this music is what I'm meant to do. But shit get expensive when you got these expenses, and plus the rent is due. This shit get critical, they pay you decimals when your music is digital. Royalty statements looking pitiful. That's why I keep it 100 when in these interviews. Win or lose, I made the choice to step foot up in these shoes. Can't be out here just making any moves. My seeds need a good education, ain't trying to send them to any schools. But I can't afford to live in a district with better academics. Shit, I'm 9 to 5 and rapping lyrics. It's real life in every word of the song. Can't help but to feel like I should be further along. Try not to let it kill my confidence. Despite the praise and all the compliments, all I see is my lack of accomplishments. Can't take no more mediocre, I've been and lost it. Who the strong pose to call on when I strength been exhausted? The strugglers and the strivers, the hustlers and survivors who be on the mission doing what they gotta do. Whether you punching on the clock or you hustling on the block, get your money and stack it, cause all you got is you. This is for the strugglers and the strivers, the hustlers and survivors who be on the mission doing what they gotta do. Whether you punching on the clock or you hustling on the block, get your money and stack it, cause all you got is you.
That's why I keep it 100 when in these interviews, win or lose, I made the choice to step foot up in these shoes, can't be out here just making moves. Like all of that ties in, and I appreciate it. Like I said, any and everybody that is living a normal day-to-day life can relate. You don't have to be a hip-hop artist or a singer for that matter. You can still enjoy this. And like you said, I can picture myself on the train with my earbuds in, jamming to this, you know what I'm saying, in the wild, wild west of New York City. All right. Now we talking about the ladies a little bit. This next Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. Right?
A little spicy, huh?
Woo! Look, my face is turning red. Okay, my face is turning red. I'm yellow. I can't afford to be turning any more red than this.
You over there blushing, newbie?
My God, I'm blushing. But it's a good blush because you nailed this song. Let's introduce the next song. We're gonna take a listen and we're gonna talk about it once it's over.
Okay, so this one is special. This one is dedicated to the ladies, and we might even have a video coming for this one, so stay tuned because you never know. But this one is track 6 off Bloodstained Suede II, produced entirely by the homie Clypto once again, and it's called If You Down, I'm Ready. You know what we doing over here. We hustling, baby. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Let's go.
And the head is absurd, body worthy your worship, praising every crevice and curve. Someone should call for full body sculpture and let us observe a walking work of art. You should be given whatever's deserved. Know that multiple orgasms, sore abs and more smashing. Neighbors been complaining all night, I feel for the poor bastards. The more I have it, the more I want it. The more you flown it, the more I need it. When I give it, shorty receive it. Killer pussy, no bereavement is an event when we fuck. Everlasting euphoric passion so intense when we fuck. Damn near lifeless, we pass out and fall into a dream, perhaps. Good sex with no strings attached. Ain't nothing like if you down. I'm ready. I say I'm ready. Tell me what you like, cause I got that shit that you need.
All right. Okay, first of all,
I see the wheel spinning. Where we going? Where we...
I was like, what he say? Yeah. Hold on, let me rewind this. All right, so when the beat comes in, and if I'm right about this particular sample, I'm really gonna be proud of myself. You may or may not know the answer. When it came in, the first thing I heard was "Love Don't Live Here Anymore." That's okay, because I was like, if my ears, goddamn, this ear needs to be auctioned if this is right. Okay, but that's what it reminded me of, a real slow down version of "Love Don't Live Here Anymore." And when it comes in, it's so strong, the bass in it, like you can really feel it. Like, okay, the joint is hot, and the ladies are gonna really rock with this joint. One of the lines which I thought was really dope that you mixed in with all of the other things that you said in this song, which it was this is actually I can talk about it in public. Body worthy of worship, praising every crevice and curve. Someone should carve a full body sculpture and let us observe. Like, so in the midst of the other descriptors that were used in this song, I thought that was dope that you put that in there. Was this like an ode to women? Was this your take on that?
Absolutely. And I sent it to like a few of my homegirls to get their thoughts and opinions on it before I actually put it out, because I know women are different. You got certain types of women who don't mind singing along with songs where they refer to themselves as bitches. You got women that, that don't mind songs to where that's hypersexual. You got women that kind of don't mess with that and want some a little more respectable. So I definitely sent it to like a few of my homegirls just to get they had thoughts and opinions on it, because I'm always looking for critiques. And I got positive feedback, and I just don't want to. This was my. How can I say this? I definitely have an affinity for women. You know what I'm saying? I love women, and more than just a sexual way too. Even though this is a highly sexual song, but just like, you know what I'm saying, y'all are creators. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just talking about like the hustlers and survivors, like women are some of the biggest hustlers and entrepreneurs that I personally know. Like y'all definitely go getters. You know what I'm saying? Y'all shape shit, y'all mold shit, y'all make things happen. So even though it's a very sexual song, it's definitely an ode to women in that vein, but also just appreciating the beauty of a woman, and not necessarily just the physical beauty of a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's nothing more beautiful that has been created here on planet Earth other than the woman. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my take on it. But yeah, this is me. And I definitely have more songs in the future that will show my appreciation for women in different ways outside of just like the bedroom type shit. Because I don't want to make it seem like I reduce women to just sexual beings and nothing like that. This is like, without saying too much, that's my love language. The subject matter of this song, that's my love language. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I just wanted to do what I do organically first, and then like take it into different directions. You know what I'm saying? But this one, it was a very natural song. I didn't struggle making this song. Like I knew what I was doing as soon as I heard the beat. And I know we got the whole culture of sample snitching and all that, but I just say it's actually an Mtume song. Yeah. So, yeah.
I know what it is then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, there's a reason, like I said, where I said I'm out of all of the producers on all of the things you've done, he's number one for me, and he gets it. Number two, you hit the nail on the head. Like, a lot of women like to hear music about them from hip hop artists, and some of it is raw. I mean, come on, we had Uchi Wally, like, come on, I mean, Uchi Wally Wally, like, I don't think that, like, in retrospect, it's like, oh damn, I was really saying that. You know what I'm saying? But this is actually articulated in a way that really the whole song, while it be filled with sexual content, it is not, I didn't feel like it was degrading at all. And like I said, the verse that I just spoke about, or that line, it's like, you know what? It's a little sprinkle of this and a little sprinkle of that, which gives something for any woman out there to enjoy. So kudos to you, because you pulled it off. I was blushing, like,
Gratitude.
going on. It's grown
Yeah.
folks shit. You
It's
know what I'm
absolutely, we all grown. I would hope if you listening to that shit, you grown. We all grown. You know what I'm saying? That song is number 6 on Bloodstained Suede II is definitely for adult ears only. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I just wanted to show my affinity for women, and just like, just take it there. You gotta. It's okay to be provocative when you know how to do it. Like, everything can't just be clean and pretty, and like, and even though it's, like I said, it's not degrading, but it's not necessarily clean, but it's definitely not degrading. Like, it's just, like I said, just showing my affinity for the ladies out there. I love y'all ladies. Don't ever think anything other than that.
It's not like Shorty's jawbone chewing through leather. It's not that, right? It's different. That was a little raw, right? But out, that song wasn't designated as an ode to women.
Right.
This one is, and so I respect the hell out of that. It's called versatility. I'm messing with that. I appreciate it. All right, so now what we're gonna get into is Unhappy Home. Talk to us a little bit about it. Talk to us a little bit about that and introduce that.
Yeah, so Unhappy Home, man, it was a semi-tough song to write, but it was from a very real place. It deals with my relationship with my mother. And
don't tell it, just tell a song, and then we're gonna get into it after.
Okay. So yeah, this is track number 7 from Bloodstained Suede II, produced entirely by the homie Clypto once again, and it's called Unhappy Home. So you know what we doing over here, we air hustling, so let's get into it.
Right now.
Boy, don't get smart with me, cause I'll knock your ass in the middle next week.
I could remember better times before the dysfunction and severed ties, before these paralyzed could visually recognize all the drama and grief. Often me and my mama would beef and turn to long-term trauma increase. Used to be all love, constant I love yous followed by long hugs. Now it's long distance, communication non-existent, cause we both can get volatile in the wrong instance. Now I'm grown with my own interests. I was a mama's boy, as a baby brought my mama a lot of joy. It went too many moments we did not enjoy. Her firstborn snooker bookers never let me look at hookers. Walking the track way back when the Max was parking the lax out west.
Clypto, 10 stars. When he came in with Sun Shower by Dr. Buzzard and the Savannah Band. You hear me? Let me wait. I'm about to knock my whole thing over. Let me tell you something. Because I'm a little older. My heart fluttered. Sun shower got me back. I was like, what? Hold on a damn minute. Hold on a minute. I got to talk to Clypto. That's all I'm gonna say. I got to talk to him, because I was like, oh.
That's actually a part of the audio clip for Boys in the Hood. That's what the mother was listening to in the crib when she was cursing Doughboy out. So it's like, I just feel like that shit fit, like I just want to go right. Yeah.
Listen, it fell right in place with everything that you've been talking about and doing with your music and these songs and how they're crafted. So I'm gonna say this verse, and then we're going to talk about the song.
Okay.
Her firstborn snooker wookers never let me look at hookers, walking the track way back when the Max was parking the lax. Let me say that again. Her firstborn snooker wookers never let me look at hookers, walking the track way back when the Max was parking lax. Let's get into it. Tell me about this song and the relationship with your mom.
So that line, I love that line. Like, yeah, I'll be trying to get into my MC bag or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But Snucker Wookers, that's what she used to call me when I was like super young. That was my nickname, Snucker Wookers. So, and like I said, like the first place that I called home after coming home from the hospital after being born was the West Side of Chicago. The West Side was infamously known for like the pimps and the hoes and shit like that back in the day. It was on all over the city in the hood, but the West Side, you know, Bishop Don Juan, like that's West Side right there. So, you know, I can remember vividly. I don't remember a lot from that young of my childhood, but I can remember vividly, like we was in a CTA bus going to my grandfather's crib, and I was looking out the window, and she had covered my eyes because it was a lady walking a stroll just out there. You know what I'm saying? So whatever the number she had on, it was exposing, you know, and I couldn't believe it as a kid. I'm like, what the heck? And she instantly like, so I remember that vividly. But yeah, unfortunately, me and my mother don't have the best relationship. As time passed, you know, like, and just the differences in who we are, and just how time passed and where it led us individually is kind of like, it's unfortunate. You know, I definitely miss my mother, and I definitely like want to make it right, but it's kind of like, without saying too much, it's kind of like just people are going to be who they are, and sometimes as much as you love a person, the best thing to do is to kind of like get that person space and allow them to come around. You know what I'm saying? Allow them to, you know, grow and do whatever they need to do to be whoever it is that they need to be. And yeah, like, so it's just basically a story in short form of the relationship with my mother, from how it started to basically, you know, where it stands now.
Here's the thing about parents, how they're looked at, how they sometimes live vicariously through their children. Sometimes they want something different for their child. And sometimes they didn't live the life that they wanted to live. And there's just a lot of different scenarios. I didn't have the best relationship with my mom, and she passed away in 2018. But in her dying moments, in her last year or almost two, I mean, she wound up living with me. Right? And so I say that to say that I don't know what's happened, but what I will say is it's just time. It's just a matter of time. And I feel like whatever has happened, and whatever went awry in, you know, in the relationship, will be mended again. And especially, you know, a single mom raising children, I know she's a strong woman, so that means she hard-headed, that means she's set in her ways, you know, like, I get it. And so I'm just gonna say this, and we're gonna move on to the next song. You can love people from afar, and eventually they come back around, and that's what's gonna happen. That's what I really believe. I ain't no fortune teller, but that's what my heart believes. So I'm gonna go with that narrative, and we're gonna get into the next song.
Oh, I'll pray about it. So I'm hoping for that.
It will, and I'm gonna keep you in my prayers.
Gratitude. I definitely appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, and I mean that. The next song, it moved me because I think oftentimes hard conversations about our women, how they're treated, how they don't love themselves enough, how materialism comes into play, is often detrimental. So I'd like you to give everybody the name of this song. We'll get into it, and then we'll talk some more about it afterwards.
So this is track number 8. This is Must Go On. And again, this is from Bloodstained Suede II, my latest project produced entirely by the homie Clypto. And we ear hustling, baby. So let's get right on into it. Let's
To the ER, he going blind, he couldn't see far. Feel like his ending ain't gonna be far. He all alone, no one to damn him or judge him. One day he opened his eyes, guess who's standing above him? Yeah, she teary-eyed, looking at him smirking. Tables turn, she find peace in looking at him hurting. She say it's funny cause of you, I've been left in the same condition. Had to see it for myself, knowing you in the same position now. He's still in shock from the moment and what was just said. She kissed his forehead, walked out and left him on his deathbed.
Domestic violence, women choosing materialistic things in search of self-love and external love, women being attracted to the wrong things, and the men that are waiting for these types of women to falter. In this instance, does the woman actually win, or is it just simply karma? Because the story behind this song is that poor decisions were made on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about what made you write this song.
So I'm always looking to grip at the emotional strings. You know, music is a multi-sensible experience. It's just not dealing with the sense of hearing. You know what I'm saying? It could be analytical. It should make you think. It's definitely emotional. It should make you feel. And physically, it might make you want to move, you know? So I'm always trying to appeal to the senses with my music in some type of way, more than just hearing it, was what I'm saying. So with this particular song, like, I'm big on storytelling. I'm a bit of a throwback MC, and the MCs that I look up to, the MCs that taught me and showed me the way, like, they was exceptional storytellers. Whether we talking about Nas, Biggie, Pac, Jay, Slick Rick, you know, they was exceptional storytellers. So I don't know why, but my stories always go towards like trauma and drama, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. But I feel like that those genres are very intriguing, you know, and sometimes relatable. Now, while this is a completely fictional tale, I know it happens all the time in real life, you know. So young girl, you know what I'm saying, looking to get out on her own and make her way in life, meets a guy, financially well off. They click. He showed one side of himself in the beginning. She fall in love with that, including everything that he can provide her with. And, you know, soon after that, person that she grew to love melted away. And now she in an abusive relationship. And, you know, he putting her through it. Like, he putting her in a hospital, you know, all types of stuff. And, you know, he ends up, you know, I go into the detail and I point out that he a heavy drinker. And, you know, like some years later, like after looking herself in the mirror and just replaying everything that's happened to her, everything that he's put her through, she decided to leave. You know what I'm saying? And she pack up her stuff and she leave. And some years later, dude end up like suffering from what I say cirrhosis of the liver, you know, from drinking and whatnot. So he chucked himself into the hospital or whatever, and he literally wasting away. And somehow she hear about that. It's like now she up, and you know what I'm saying, she doing better in life. And she finds this out, and she finds out the hospital that he in, and it's kind of like, in her own way of paying her respects, it's kind of like it's gratifying for her to see him in this situation. So it's kind of like she see herself in him at that moment, because he was the reason she was laid up in hospital beds so many times, and that's where she actually got the thought and the motivation to just get out the relationship, you know, being in a hospital bed and, you know, reminiscing on that. So yeah, like I ended with like she kissed his forehead, walk out and left him on his deathbed, you know, because it's like it's gratifying for her to see him there, because it's kind of like, you know, it is karma. So I feel like it's a bit of both, and depending on the perspective of the listener, because it's your art. Once I give it to you, it's up for interpretation, however you want to interpret it. So it's kind of like you fill in the blank almost. But from my perspective, when I was writing it, it was gratifying for her to see him in that situation, knowing everything that he had put her through. I don't know if this tripped up any of the listeners, but I have like gunshots in some of the songs, and you know Well, it's a science behind that. Bloodstained Suede. The gunshots is representative of me or symbolic of me killing shit. Me and Clypto killing shit. So if I'm not mistaken, it's 8 gunshots at the end of the title track. The first track, Bloodstained Suede II. That's representative of 8 of the 10 songs. It's a gunshot at the end of the very last song, which is a representative of one of the songs. And it's a gunshot at the end of this song as well. She didn't kill him. She didn't shoot him because I know I ended it off with a gunshot. So she didn't kill him. Like I said, she kissed his forehead, walked out, and left him on his deathbed. Like, this is karma. Like, nature is taking its course. Like, you already headed where you going. I don't need to do anything. I just come to say my goodbyes and let you know that I'm still here and look at me now and look at where you at type shit.
Right.
But yeah, like, I just love telling stories and I always want to make it some type of suspense with like some type of twist at the end.
And it's interesting. So I did hear the gunshot, and for me, it was just the end. Like
The coffin, right?
Right. You know what I mean? It wasn't a physical her shooting him. It was just like boop.
Right. That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
And
the other thing that this song resonated with me. So my godmother, who I'm no longer in touch with and have not been since I was in my 20s, she was in an abusive relationship for a long time, to the point where she would fix this man's plate and she would also have to eat off of his plate. And the first time that I saw that, I was young, and I was a fighter coming up, 5'2". You know, us short people got issues, so I was ready to I was looking around at the people that were in the setting, and I'm like, y'all just gonna let this happen? Like, he's making her. So when I listened to this, you know, and I immediately thought about domestic violence victims, and in all fairness, sometimes women put themselves in these situations where never deserving of domestic violence, definitely not that, but they're not clear on who they are and what they deserve. And so they end up in these situations, which is heartbreaking, because the end result is not usually the way that this song ended. So I appreciate it. And I appreciate the fact that you, again, are showing your versatility in subjects that should be talked about. I think is super important.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The underground I always look at the underground as a place to be free creatively. And it always kind of confuses me why like modern day underground artists choose to put themselves in a box and just give the same thing over and over and over. To me, that's where it's like the reins is off. Like, you don't have any constraints. This is the underground. It's free from any corporation or any label telling you need a song like this, you need a song like that, you got to speak to these people, you got to talk like this, you got to rap like that. Like, you could do whatever you want. So sometimes I wonder why we don't see more versatility within the underground, because I'm a self-proclaimed underground artist. Like, I don't have any interest in signing to a traditional major label, like, unless the situation is right. I would say that.
Right.
You know, I'm grassroots. I'm getting it from the mud, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Building from the ground up. And it's like, I don't have any creative constraints or restraints. So it's like, why would I give you the same song and dance over and over and not flex my creativity and actually like speak to something that you might be able to relate to? It's like, I don't understand when artists, and shout out to 3 Stacks, but I don't understand when artists say, what am I supposed to rap about? I mean, like, this is real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no age on this shit. You know what I'm saying? Ageism is almost dead in hip hop, and I'm glad to see it's on its way out. You know, and you know, so yeah, I like to, you know, give different looks and be creative and see how far my imagination can take me.
Yeah. I mean, I think so. The underground, let's just start with title, right? The first thing you think of is grimy. Think dark. You don't think necessarily, and you think battle rap for me. You don't necessarily think anything positive is coming out of that. So that's the first problem, right? Once we start giving things titles, then people feel like they're supposed to stay within those parameters. It's just like R&B when, you know, Kedar said, okay, I'm going to create this neo soul. That's because people and corporations and these businesses didn't know where to put this type of sound, right? And so once again, so now you have neo soul, you got trap soul. The first time I heard trap soul was a young lady that I interviewed from let me not say the first time I heard trap soul. The first time I heard it titled trap soul was from a young lady that I interviewed out of Ontario. What? Loved it. But I mean, to me, it's R&B.
Right.
Right? It still comes from that source. So I just say that to say that, again, we allow ourselves sometimes to be boxed in because we can't see the forest for the trees. And so to me, when you, like I said, even as far back as the cellar dwellers, you know what I'm saying? That name in itself put them in a box.
Right. True.
You know what I'm saying, that they had to get out of. So, you know, that's a whole nother conversation, but I get what you're saying, and I appreciate the fact that you're not willing to be boxed in. Okay, what's number 9? Let's get into that.
So number 9 is Dialogue of Living Men Part 2. And once again, this is off my recently released project in collaboration with the homie Clypto, produced entirely by Clypto. And it's off Bloodstained Suede II. So let's get it. Y'all know what we doing. We ear hustling, baby.
Look. All I know is this shit is a gift and I'm not into taking it lightly. Y'all calling these rap niggas ghosts, but I think it's a joke because nothing they making excite me. Can't tell you how long I've been chasing this, wishing and hoping and praying. I'm making it nightly. I know they in tune with the name, but my shit still ain't ringing enough, so they take that as lightly. I refuse to be slighted. Don't take that much for my fuse to be lighted. Don't go off the top, so I usually write it. Can't stop till I'm up in my music recited. I just want my name in the history books with the ones you look at as the greatest. Don't care to be famous. Nobody said to be painless. Just make sure I stay in your playlist. Yeah.
Your flow on this is like water. Like, this is like, it's just a flow. I definitely thought about Bruce Lee and water and all that good shit. Like, not to be funny, but like, that's what I thought about. I want to talk about this verse first off. I just want my name in the history books with the ones you look at as the greatest. Don't care to be famous. Nobody said it'd be painless. Just make sure I stay in your playlist. Yeah. I want to talk a bit about resiliency, respect. We talked a little bit already about, you know, being slighted, if you will, you know, in this music business. And you said it yourself, like, the storytelling in your songs is really dope. You're able to tell a story, throw in some jabs, get some punchlines in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're able to do all of that, which makes me appreciate what you do even more. Let's talk about, like I said, resiliency. And I also want to talk about your quest in this music industry and talking about not doing this to be famous.
Yeah, so it's kind of so fame was never my goal, you know, with getting into music or want to be an artist or what have you. Fame was never it. Like, my idea of fame, I do want to make history, and I could kind of see how people would say, well, what are you talking about? If you make history, like, you famous, that's fame, you know. But when I say fame or not wanting to be famous, that means like Kardashian famous. Like, I'm not a media darling. I'm not here trying to be that. Like, I'm not here to be paparazzi's dream or, you know what I'm saying, or nothing like that. Like, glamour and glitz type shit. Like, that's not my thing. Like, I'm actually starting to be recognized for who I am musically, and it makes me proud, but it also triggers something cautionary in my mind too, because these people I don't know recognize me now when I go certain places, and it's like, oh shit, it's starting to get a little real, you know. So with all that being said, I was, when I was a shorty, I wanted to get in this for the glamour and the glitz, the women and all that, as I alluded to earlier. But as I got older, like, my purpose switched. Like, I was really raised by the GOATs, and, you know, I separate the icons from the 80s from like the artists from the 90s, because like, people say like, well, how can you not have a KRS-One or a Rakim or a Big Daddy Kane in your top 5? In my opinion, it's disrespectful to put them in the top 5 because they built this shit. Like, they icons. They place is forever solidified. You would never hear me say Rakim is in my top 5, Kool G Rap is in my top 5. They above that. Like, they started this shit. Top 5 discussion starts with the ones who came after them, the Nas's, the J's, the Biggies, the Pacs. That's the contenders for the top 5 when you talk about all time and stuff like that. Like, I have my own set of icons to where, like, I never put them in the top 5 because they more than that. They exceed a top 5. They gave too much to rap and hip hop in this culture. So, and plus, I learned from them through my art, through my favorite artists. Like, Nas and Big Pun made me go back and learn who Kool G Rap was. You know? And so it's like everything is relative. So if you a student, which I am, if you in this shit how you say you in it, you gonna end up there anyway. My hunger is insatiable, and maybe it's because I'm still at a specific spot. I don't feel like I've really done anything. I'm just starting to like get my just due, I feel. So, but I know I'm closer than I ever been. And even if people want to say, bro, you crazy, I never mention you amongst the likes of Rakim or Big Daddy Kane or a Nas or a Jay. You crazy. That'll never happen. I feel like I'm talented enough to make that shit happen. And even if I don't, you shoot for the stars. So if you miss the stars, at least you somewhere amongst the moon and the rest of the planets and everything else. So I'm in the stratosphere. I might not be where my aim initially was, but I'm somewhere in the stratosphere. So maybe I won't ever crack your top 5. Maybe you will never mention my name alongside Nas or Jay-Z or Pun or Biggie or Pac or DMX or whoever or Rakim. But my purpose, my goal is whoever your goal is, I want it to be hard when you say who is your favorite rapper of all time. If you pay attention to my trajectory and dealing with my body of work and what the type of message I'm putting out and the quality of work I'm putting out, I mean, it ain't hard to tell like what my purpose is here. You know, I'm not doing this for a check. I would love to get paid off what I do, but I believe that's going to come with it. This is America. This is a capitalistic society. What person has made history in America and not had the opportunity to monetize off of it? So with that being said, money is not my first goal. Like, I want history. Like, that's my thing. Like, I feel like I was put here to rap, to make music, to be one of the best, one of the greatest that ever did it. And I learned from the GOAT. So why should I not consider myself one? Whether it's too premature, whether it's just an aspiration, whatever. I already feel like I'm a GOAT. GOTE. I feel like I'm one of the greatest of this era. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if you heard me or not. Like, I know the 20,000 hours that I put into my craft. I know the 20 plus years that I spent perfecting this shit and honing my abilities. Like, I know the people who taught me and what I took from them and what I used to build myself as an MC. Like, I know these things. Like, so I have supreme confidence. It might come off as cockiness to others, but I have supreme confidence in my abilities. Like, I'm not doing this shit for nothing. Like, I'm doing this with a specific and great purpose. So that's been my mentality since I came back into it. I didn't come back into it after taking a hiatus to just play with it and just say, you know what I'm saying, and just say this is a hobby. Like, I came for everything that I feel like is within my grasp, and shit, why not? Like, again, no mediocre. I'm not gonna say, and this is not that cliche default rap nigga shit to where I'm supposed to say I feel like the best. Like, no, I feel like I am the best. For any of y'all watching, regardless of your perspective, I feel like I am the best. I don't care who you're talking about. That's because I know what I put into my craft. Whatever you do, if you feel like you're the best at it and you really believe it, it's because you didn't put a certain amount of time into what it is that you're doing. And you're comfortable with that. But the thing about it is, I'm not even comfortable. I don't even feel like I'm at my best. You know, I still feel like that I haven't reached my peak musically yet, because this ain't like a sport to where like you decline physically and you can't do what you once did when you was in your 20s and early 30s. Like, as long as you keep the mind sharp, you can keep this shit going as long as you want to, you know? So that's just my whole purpose. Like, I'm here to make history. That's my mission.
Oh, and I feel you on that, and everything you just said. I think that's important. And it didn't sound cliche. It's not in the way that you're presenting it. I think that, once again, we box ourselves in, we limit ourselves, human beings, just period, right? In anything we do. So we shoot ourselves in the foot just because our train of thought is twisted. So no, my hat goes off to you. Like, I'm respecting everything that you're doing in terms of this climb in this music thing. And I'm gonna always say keep going. And And listen, and you do something crazy, I'm gonna send you a DM and be like, what are you doing?
Hold me
Yeah.
accountable. Hold me accountable. It's just like I could say on one hand everything I just said. I have to be able to take that criticism and that critique from
The
people
right.
who I respect, yeah, and be able to look back at that like, damn, maybe that wasn't the best move. So yeah, I'm open to all that. Like I actually be looking for negativity sometimes. Like I'll be asking my supporters on social media, like, hey, what y'all think? What could I done better? And like the responses be so overwhelmingly positive. I'm like, well, shit, why am I still in the space I am? Why I ain't still over here? It's that great, but nah, absolutely. You got to be able to take the good with the bad and everything in between. This is life.
All right, so we getting into the last song.
Absolutely.
Tell the people what the song is, and we're gonna get into it.
So the last song, we did it, y'all. I know this has been a long process. We appreciate y'all for sticking around and hanging out with us as we air hustle, you know what I'm saying, and do what we do.
That's right,
You know
damn.
what I'm saying? Absolutely. So the last song is track 10, Wrong Side of the Gun, featuring my homie JR, another incredible artist. This time we taking a visit to North Carolina. That's where bro from. And this is off my recently released project, Bloodstained Suede II, produced entirely by the homie Clypto. And you already know we air hustling, so let's get into it.
I am legend, a lyrical sorcerer. No source of remorse is given. I torture you, scorching the booth, of course. Flow respected from the courts to Corsica. You just another corpse on these compositions. Bring coroners. Either something in my corner, or these rappers looking cornier.
I'll corner you with fire. These pyrotechnics inspiring future and prior legends of fusion reactor. I'm used to applying pressure. If music requires ethics, put them tied records back in the bin like Rooney did Byron Leftwich.
Truly, my mind's infected. I'm moody, sometimes dejected. Grew up in the habitat that's unruly and crime infested.
Tried and tested cause the obstacles grew in a valiant effort. Rhymes majestic now was down, but they knew he was plyometric.
All right, let's get into it. Talk to me about this song.
So Wrong Side of the Gun. So just like how I kicked it off hard with Bloodstained Suede II, I definitely wanted to end it on the same note. This, Bloodstained Suede 1 was more suede. Part 2 was more bloodstained. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of wanted to go out with a bang, so to speak. And one of the artists that I respect all my counterparts within this game, but I respect JR, you know what I'm saying, at a high level. Like, bro is a monster, you know what I'm saying? Super lyricist, you know what I'm saying? Like, dope concept wise, body of work, all that. So I hit him up and had the idea to do the back and forth. I always wanted to do that with another artist, and he was down with it. And I'm like, but damn, bro, how we gonna do it? You all the way where you at, I'm all the way where I'm at, and he ain't sweated. He was like, shit, you just send your part to me, voice note, I send my part to you, and we build a song like that. It came out like we sat up and wrote this shit together and recorded it together. So just like a super dope, hard body joint, you know what I'm saying, to kind of like go out on. If you're gonna go out on your shield, this is the epitome of that, going out on your shield.
Mm-hmm. And when I listen to this, that I'm glad that you said that. I'm gonna say that the partnership with a tag teaming like Jimmy Fly Snooker, well, like Vic and JR, to me, like those two really, y'all are in pocket, y'all are in tune with each other. I think one of his lines was like fusion reaction, and like I'm listening and I'm like, okay, even down to the voice differences.
Yeah.
To me, it really just lined up really well. I think he was a perfect choice to do that with. Yes, and lyrically, just like Vic, you know, I just was impressed. Like, listen, this entire album to me offers versatility, it's thought-provoking, there's something for the ladies, there's anthems, there's soundtrack vibes. Like, I don't know how more well-rounded you could get in terms of a project.
Appreciate that. That's what I was aiming for.
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody who's a real music connoisseur and hip-hop connoisseur is going to appreciate all the elements of this album. I don't know who's reviewed it yet. I don't know what I didn't look at anybody else's interview because I ain't got time for that. I know what I'm doing. And I already know that I'm going to pick it apart and I'm going to pay attention to it. And like, to me, this album is top tier. Like, if I put an album in my playlist, it's because I want to hear it again. There's not a lot of hip hop that I have in my playlists because I'm an R&B head first of all.
Right.
But my love for hip hop is definitely there. So this is going to be one of those that's in rotation, full album, not like I'm taking songs. I am going to take songs from all of your stuff and make my own separate. But this here, to me, I mean, I really, really enjoyed it. Um, I what I see personally for you is just an upward trajectory, not just in Chicago, but worldwide. I think people are gonna really get hip to you. I think, and I'm a big summertime person. I'm very big on songs that come out in the summertime because I feel like that's when people are outside and they really enjoying life. And especially since the pandemic,
Right.
you know, whatever you coming with next, that's also got to be something amazing. And I have no doubt, I have no doubt that I'm not gonna not be impressed. Like this was just a really, really solid, like I said, album. uh Anybody who's watching right now, don't play yourself, go listen to it for real. Like, take the time. I don't care where you from and what style you like. This has something for everybody on it. And I'm gonna again shout out Clypto. If you are into nostalgic vibes, right? And when we talk about boom bap, sometimes you say nostalgic and they think they're gonna hit a boom 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 boom. Nah, what I mean by that is it gives you a feeling.
Yes.
That's what I'm looking for, and that's what I got. So I appreciate you. Please do me a favor. Tell everybody where they can find you, all your social media handles, any shows that you have coming up, wherever. Go ahead and give it to the people now.
So it's me. I am God. I am getting ahead without devolving. I am most active on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna call it Twitter, Twitter and Instagram. My handle is at GodMC. That's GAWDEMCEE. Again, that's GodMC, GAWDEMCEE, and that's Instagram as well as Twitter. I've been super active on YouTube. That's just I am God. So youtube.com/I am God. Light on Facebook. I don't really do too much Facebook. As far as everything else, just look out for me to continue to drop more music. I'm definitely dropping a lot more music this year. And just one last thing about Bloodstained Suede II, like I am a throwback MC, and I definitely feel like Bloodstained Suede II is a throwback project, as in like it has something for everybody, as you mentioned. Like I really took that approach because again, these are dudes who raised me, the artists who raised me, who I looked up to. So like the formula or the blueprint behind Bloodstained Suede II is very mid to late 90s, early 2000s as far as like how it's built and how it's presented and the type of songs that's there. And I feel like it's not really, and that's not like to say, oh, it's outdated. I just feel like nobody is really composing full bodies of work in that manner anymore. So I kind of wanted to blow the dust off that and reintroduce that, because it is people still doing that, but it's kind of like, I feel like that style of making music is not appreciated anymore due to streaming. With streaming, it's like just you put out an album, it's just like a bunch of songs that maybe they potential hits, and it's like for streaming purposes. So this is a very thought out project from track 1 to track 10. I put my all into this. Like Clypto laced me with some of the rawest production that you're gonna hear this year. I put my life on it, on my soul. So you know what I'm saying? Tap in with us. And if you like what you hear, we got CDs and vinyl available. That's at no mediocre.bandcamp.com. So that's I replaced the O's with X's for no mediocre. So that's NXMEDIXCRE.bandcamp.com. And like I said, we got vinyl, we got CDs, I got no mediocre hoodies and sweatshirts, So if you're a fan, a supporter of the movement, I should say, you know what I'm saying, consider getting yourself some merch, or if you're a vinyl collector, grab some vinyl, CDs, whatever. You want it, we got it. I am God, getting there without devolving. Newbie, I appreciate you having me. This was dope. I'm glad we got to connect. We gonna keep air hustling and we gonna keep this going.
Thank you. No, I appreciate you. This is a long time coming. I'm definitely gonna purchase vinyl. I have vinyl behind me, I just got Andre 3000's joint in the mail. I was very excited. That was ordered. I don't even know when ever it came out. But yeah, I'm definitely a vinyl head, so I am going to be purchasing. I am going to be supporting. For those of you who joined us this evening, listen, it doesn't take much. Give a follow, share the content, share his content, share my content. I think that, you know, we're in an age of technology where things come like this. So it's just a click away. All you got to do is share, talk about it, tell your friends. If you like it, spread the word. I appreciate you guys joining me tonight. I am God. Thank you. This was
Gratitude to you.
Yes, everybody, this is We Ear Hustling, baby. I am new to the Ear Hustler. This is I Am God. Y'all having a, yes. Y'all have an amazing evening. I will be back. I've been tongue-tied all day today, okay? Just give me a break. It's the New York thing. I got to get it wrapped up here. We Ear Hustling, baby. That's all you need to know. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.
Peace.